Time for tech tips. Just this week, Western Mass News, we told you about a credit card skimmer found at a Springfield ATM. Several customers who made transactions that morning are now at risk. Stan
Prager is here to teach us how we can identify skimmers and protect our accounts. So, perfect for you to come on this week.
Especially relevant because I am also a skimmer victim of the past.
Were you really?
Oh,
yeah, not recently, but a couple of years ago.
How do you know it was a skimmer?
It was a gas station.
Yeah.
I used the card on the station at the station. Something didn't really register, that the thing didn't look quite right, but I wasn't really thinking about it. You know, you don't think about those things, right? And then a day later, my account got hijacked, my business account.
Oh, man.
So, so I followed up, and it turned out that there was a skimmer at that station, and they got it. So you have to be really careful about these things. Like, you don't think about it, right?
They look very similar, but if you look close enough, you can tell they kind of pop out, right?
Generally, yes. Or sometimes they don't fit properly.
Yeah.
The ATM one, that's the scariest one, though, right? Because you're going there, and some of them are really sophisticated. In addition to the skimmer, they have a camera, so they can capture your PIN number.
They have to get your code.
Yeah.
Right.
If you have a chip, one of those new chip cards, will that help? Because don't they still need the chip to use your card or your number?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
Not if
yeah,
you're
because
buying online.
it's gonna it's gonna take the info. Very good point. It's gonna take the info off the magnetic strip. And if they have your PIN number, you're good. I mean, even if they don't have your PIN number, if they have your, most of the cards that we use today are, can also be Master and Visas, right? The debit cards. So they can't go into your bank account per se, but they can use it as a credit card somewhere else.
Right.
So that's the issue. Okay, that's all they need. What I found freaky today is I began doing just kind of a Google search for these things, and apparently lots of people sell them. And
you can just buy them.
You can just buy them. They're not illegal. And they are under. You can buy them for under $100, and then as the price goes up, there's more sophistication to them. But in some cases, like the inexpensive ones, are about $80. It looks like basically a pair of clown lips that snaps onto a normal ATM or a gas station. I mean,
where your card is inserted.
Yeah.
Right?
So what happens is you put your card in. It goes through this before it gets into the actual slot. So you're doing the normal transaction that you would normally be doing, but you're passing through the skimmer device to get in there. So you're unaware of it, okay? But it's now captured your information.
Well, how can we be more aware? I will nowadays, especially when I go to gas stations, I wiggle the front of the machine to see if there's a loose piece and determine if it's part of the actual pump or if it's been added on.
What I suggest to a lot of people to do is don't use your debit card at the gas station if you can. Use a credit card instead. This isn't going to help you in ATM, of course. You're going to ATM, you have your debit card, but it limits it because this is very rare. The one they got in Springfield the other day. This is not as prevalent. It's a lot more difficult to get these things installed to work at an ATM. But it's really easy to slap one on a gas station or a convenience store swipe or something like that. So those are the ones where you're better off using a credit card because your liability is much more limited when you use a credit card than a debit card. They can't go into your bank account.
Okay. But they can still charge it, but you're
you're
not really losing anything per se.
I mean, it's really inconvenient. Like my business account got hacked, so it was like negative $6,000 in the morning. So I got all the money back and what have you, but my account was locked for days.
Oh, that's
As opposed to if you're using your Amex card or a Master Visa normal card, right? The credit card company, so you're going to get a notice, whatever. You're going to get the money back. You're protected against fraud from that. It's going to be inconvenient. You're not going to be able to use that credit card, but that's not the same thing as your bank account getting compromised.
So try to use a credit card and be aware of where you're putting your card.
Yeah, and I mean, I think you need to look. I mean, the key is these things are really sophisticated. So no matter how careful you are, and I mean, how often do we think about this? We're all very busy.
It only takes one mistake.
Exactly.
And somebody's got your card.
And that's true of most things in life. It only takes one mistake.
So best option, use a credit card. All right, thank you so much, Stan.
Good to see you guys.